And it's just about time to get the final game of Flat Track Fever 2024 on the road. And ending the show will be the Chinook City Roller Derby, Glenmore Reservoir Dogs taking on Toronto Men's Roller Derby. This is a sanctioned game. We have skating for the Reservoir Dogs wearing black. Double 004, projectile, 1-2, side dish, 213, sleep, 2-2, bradass, 2931, Taz, 3-0, rip, 403, rice ball, 5150, Nodge, 52, Devnall, 827, Betty Davis eyes, 84, Justice Basta Crash, 87, Ladybeard, 911, Wolfblade Jr., 9-3, Doug Drillmore, and 9-8, Show Me Your Hits. Skating for Toronto in the blue will be 06, Starscream, 1-1, Billy the Kid, 1-2, Stevie Stitches, 137, D-Ray, 1701, Pip, 222, Spencer Sleep, 2304, Dijon, 25, Bosch, 42, Luke Ness Monster, 6, Nat, 8-1, The Dictator, and 9-1-1, Good Huss. If the game on Friday was any indication, this will be a slobber knocker. Come down. Game on Friday, final score was 187 to 183 for the Dogs. Pretty much came right down to the wire. Toronto's probably riding high off that game against the Outcasts this morning. They were down by 15 at the half and won the game by over 100 points. I do believe D-Ray put up the biggest jam of the day for sure at 28 points. Just a reminder that, again, after this game, we do have the after party at Peanuts in the Carriage House Inn. Head on over there and keep the party going for a little bit longer. Someone ripped. Who's the fidgeter? This game's about to get started. We got D-Ray on the line going up against Bradass. Starting this one off with a bang. Both jammers trying to push their way through. Bradass runs into sleep. Manages to get through. Scores that lead jam status. Bradass knocked out. Was able to stay in a bit. Starscream was holding him back. Looks like Pip is going off for a penalty. Bradass went for the apex jump, was knocked over by Sleep, and accidentally was knocked into PH Demon. Oh, that was completely accidental, so there will be no call on that. Janky there. When Brad puts up 7, puts Calgary in the lead, 7-0. Projectile now jamming for the Reservoir Dogs. Projectile was just in the last game. What penalty is that, Chevy? What penalty was that they were signaling? Oh, so Projectile got called on a head block. And then Stevie gets called on a cut. So Projectile will not solve a full 30 seconds as Stevie was going to come in. Projectile's going to get released. And Stevie will only have to serve as long as Projectile sat. But that means we are playing the full 2-minute jam here now. Sleep. Sleep cycling Projectile back again. Projectile with a little dipsy doodle to get around the pack. Able to finish that initial pass. Side dish came around. Caught his fellow number 12. Knocked him out. So Stevie has to start over again. Projectile able to pass that off to Rice Ball. We got ourselves an old man jam now. Old man jam, old man jam, old man jam. Rice Ball puts up 4. Stevie finishes that initial pass. Looks like Dictator took a failure to reform penalty on that call. Old man jam. Wolfblade Jr. We starting this jam. This will be the Luke Ness Monster they'll be facing. Wolfie pushing on the pack. Knocked out by Spencer. Spencer Sleep. Wolfie scores that lead jam status. Super important. Looks like Doug Drummer's going off for a multiplayer. I didn't see what penalty Dev took there. What happened to that paper is someone is a fidgeter, and it looks like they ripped up that paper a lot. Wolfie hitting the pack. He's on his scoring pass. Luke Monsters in the box, so we're on a power jam. A little bit of a size disparity there between Wolfblade Jr. and Spencer Sleep. Wolfie able to win that battle. Pre-COVID, Wolfie made both the men's and junior Team Canada teams. You can write on here. And then we'll rewrite this. We got Betty Davis eyes now jamming for the first time today. Well, first time in this game. And Jammer starting on the line. Davis starting this on a power jam. Luke is in the box. Looks like Luke took a double penalty there, so they had to sit for a minute. Like Luke might take possibly an insubordination penalty. Not sure exactly what. Ooh. Side dish. Catches Luke as he's coming around. There are different sheets. It might not be on it. Oh, they them. Perfect. Perfect. There's my pronoun sheet. I usually just call everyone they. Luke gets through. They're now on a scoring pass. Being watched by Side Dish. Davis calls that off before Lucas has a chance to get around and score any points. Lady Beard now going up against Nat. Lady Beard pushing their way through. Nat is cycled back as well by Dev. Sleep gets cycled back, cycling Lady Beard back, but gets caught by Rice Ball. Lady Beard takes a no pass, no, and Nat takes a cut call. That means we are skating the full 2. Lady Beard almost thought they were able to get in, but Ricebell couldn't knock Spencer Sleep out. And Sleep gets called on a forearm now. Has to come off the track. Because Lady Bear's rocking that 87, when I see him from behind, he looks like Davis. Because I recognize the 87 because they are number twinsies. Not anymore when they play for the Dogs, but Davis usually rocks the 827 now for the Dogs. But they wear an 87 generally. When they're not playing on the same team as Lady Beard, Davis wears 87. And they're rocking the pink 22 as well. Taz taken out Bosch. Bosch is now the jammer for the Toronto team. Sleep catches just enough of Lady Beard. Lady Beard's going to get cycled back. Dev caught enough of Bosch to stop him. Toronto has called a timeout. Pardon? I think we might need a Who Award better shot of Davis with Davis, Lady Beard, and D-Ray. I swear someone else had the pink tutu on earlier too. I could have swore two dogs were wearing pink earlier. You can say that into the mic there, Chevy. If you want to voice your opinion, you have a microphone. Brad Ass going to be the jammer for the Reservoir Dogs. Going up against D-Ray. The jam is on. Bodies are falling. D-Ray is able to get out first. Brad Ass with a whip there on, looks like Basta Crash. Brad Ass with a sweet jump. Unfortunately, no points were scored. Count the skaters, there should be 12 skaters. I just didn't want to count the skaters, so I counted how many were not. This will be Stevie going up against Projectile. Projectile gets out just ahead of Stevie. Projectile dodges past Sleep and calls off that jam. Score a quick 1 point. We got Wolfblade Jr. now going against Luke Ness Monster. Sleep catches a bit of him. Luke gets out first. Wolfblade comes in, tries to use Sleep. Tries to use his Sleep to get through. Quite can't. Cycled back partially by Toronto Sleep. Chased down by Toronto Sleep and is knocked out. Was no pass, no pay. No pass, no points. But forces Luke to call that jam a little bit earlier than they would have liked to. Toronto able to close that gap. We're looking at 40 points now. Nat going up against Betty Davis Eyes. Davis knocked down by Pip, but then being aware that, and then gets called on a cut. That's going to put Nat on a, Nat passes the star off, so the Dictator is now your jammer for Toronto. Almost a no pack call there. Dictator wasn't quite able to get through. Dev is going to go off for a directional call. Taz starting to cycle Dictator back. Pip comes in behind them. Forces them to stop so they couldn't cycle them back anymore. Davis skates around the outside there. Finishes that initial pass. Now if you notice that since that was Davis's initial pass, that means if Nat did pass off the star, they could have got lead jam. But instead, we are skating the full 2. Because Pip is headed back to the box. Bosch in there trying to make space for the Dictator. But having trouble getting past Rip and Dev. Rip and Dev make a sweet little bridge, and Davis just tucks right under. Looks like we got an official timeout. Toronto was able to put up 19 on that jam. We're looking at 55 to 19. Also gives those officials a chance to get a drink of water. It looks like the Dogs are calling for an official review.
They are looking for a back block penalty on blue 6.
Looks like the refs have made their decision. So Black was looking for a back block on blue 6. It turns out that the refs determined that that was a legal target zone where they were hit, and so that is rejected, and Red Dogs will lose their official review for this half. I said this half. D-Ray gets through as Ladybeard is in the box. So D-Ray is on a power jam. Oh, side dish caught D-Ray, but D-Ray's able to stay in bounds. Lady Bear comes back in the pack, trying to fight their way through. Is able to get through on that outside. D-Ray gets knocked out and opts off to call that instead of cycling back. They were able to score a total of 7 on that jam. Means we're only looking at a 29-point difference. Every little bit helps to close that gap. This is going to be Bradass jamming against Stevie Stitches. And Bradass, oh ho ho! Bosch thought he had him lined up, misses on that hit. Bradass, a little hop on the inside there. And again, it worked so well the first time, might as well do it again. That's going to be an illegal contact on Bosch. Bosch is okay. Jam was called. Bosch will miss the next 3 jams. So Bradass got to continue because Bosch did go for the hit, but was out of bounds when he hit Brad, so Brad did not have to.
Any chance could we maybe see if anyone says yes to this vehicle?
Oh, if you own a Hyundai Santa Fe license plate CRK 2832. What's going on with it? Oh, it sideswiped someone. Yeah. So, are you the proud owner of a Hyundai Santa Fe license plate CRK 2832? When they parked, they hit their car up and they pulled in. You're going to have to probably wait till they leave. If shit happens, you might as well just like fucking own up to it. Might as well own up to it. I'm not going to do anything to prevent. Oh, did you find out who those are?
No. Who am I supposed to go to find that out?
You can go to ask Skid. Skid will probably know. Once we get this all sorted out, when we come back, it will be Bradass jamming. Oh, no, sorry. That hasn't been updated yet. But it is Luke Ness Monster on the line for Toronto and Projectile on the line for the Dogs. Projectile, Sleep, and Taz all played in the game right before this with Calgary All-Stars. Some of these skaters are playing in lots of games this weekend. Full
I was
sets.
just gonna make sure I spelled the name
Full sets.
right.
Yeah. Trip stop and pull shot. Yeah.
And then Kala is what I heard.
Who? Kala? Keller?
Maybe.
Oh, you have to go ask again. Who knows their name on this list? 44 points separating these teams. Calgary is able to put up 17 on that jam. Open up that lead. Projectile hoping to build on it more. Going up against Luke Ness Monster. Spencer Sleep putting up a solid wall, but Projectile gets through on the outside. Basta Crash knocked all the inside to the track. Luke opted to play defense. And then it looks like Sleep's going for a low block. They're able to sit down as both of the blockers for Toronto are standing. Oh, Projectile almost able to land in. Instead of crawling to the back of the pack, Projectile just calls off that jam. Pardon? It's either Killer L or Kella. You have to go ask.
I'm too afraid to go.
Why? Nat now jamming against Wolfblade Jr. Nat's been playing double duty as well. They are playing with Team Ontario Roller Derby as well as Toronto Men's Roller Derby. Wolfblade thought they got away with it, but that right side of that skate just went out of bounds, so they do take a cut. But now Nat's heading to the box. And since Nat's heading to the box, what does that mean? That means we're skating for the full 2 minutes. Everyone loves.
They were talking about the fact that 2 cameras were in.
All skaters love playing for the full 2. Spencer Sleep now headed to the box. Ooh, lots of penalties happening. Dictator's now headed. Oh, and another penalty now. Now Nat. Oh, but Nat had it. Or no, that's not Nat. Sorry, that's 911. That would be Good Huss. Good Huss. Because they stepped out to go to a box, but they couldn't. The box is full, so they could not go. So if two players are already sitting in the box for your team, and a third player gets reported to the box, they are told to go back onto the track, and then the penalty box manager will hold up that sign there that you saw with their number, and then the refs will have to see that and tell them to report to the box to serve their penalty. If one of the blockers in the box is standing, then they can sit. But if they cannot sit, then they cannot start their penalty. D-Ray Oh, gets called on a cut. But so did Davis. Oh, that means yet another 2-minute jam. Davis will sit just as long as D-Ray sat. That's a forearm there on Good Huss. And now Dog Sleep is going to the box. There's 2 sleeps in. Davis thought they were in bounds, but part of their skate must have been out because they got called on the cut. D-Ray. Sleep telling D-Ray that they are good to go. They're able to knock race ball out. Toronto holding back, not moving. Sleep joins the fray again. Dogs blockers trying to get D-Ray, but D-Ray's too elusive. Davis goes around on that outside. And that skate was just a bit outside that track, and that is a cut penalty. That means Davis will be starting this jam in the box. Cuts aren't all that uncommon for jammers, though. Jammers get them lots. Davis starting this jam in the box. They will keep the star on. 3 in 1 jam is a lot. Massive bodies trying to get through. Taz forming a brace, trying to help out that team. Doug Drillmore is going off. Naj giving chase, but can't keep up to Stevie. Davis spins around, is knocked out. Bosch in there breaking up that tripod. Oh, and that now means Stevie's going to the box. That means yet another 2-minute jam. That's a lot of 2-minute jams in a row. Davis giving the team direction. This pack is moving fast. Davis runs into Bosch. Billy the Kid trying to help out as well. Davis able to brace themselves. Gets through, scores 4 points. Davis looking to extend some of this lead. Stevie quickly through on the outside. Draws a forearm penalty there by Pip. Davis pushing on that pack. Taz and Naj coming to help out. Bosch giving chase, but Drillmore there to stop him. We got Luke Ness Monster now against Lady Beard. Both jammers a little bit of hesitation at the line there. Lady Beard almost had a line, but Spencer Sleep steps in the way. Lady Bears taken all the way back by Sleep. And yet again, neither jammer's gotten through yet. And Luke Ness Monster finally gets through and scores that lead jam status. Solid D there by, that would be Pip, the Dictator, Nat, and Spencer Sleep. Holding Lady Beard back. Lady Beard has not been able to finish that initial pass. And now Sleep for the Dogs is going to the box. We have a star pass, so we got an old man jam here for the next 40 seconds. And Luke calls it off. Old man jam started when old men started jamming. Primarily rice ball. I do not know when or how it started. I just know it started, and it will carry on because there will always be old men to jam. Ho, ho, ho. Projectile flailing around that line, was able to keep their skates in bounds. Forces Nat to call that jam a little early. Looks like we're going to have an official timeout. Looks like I got the scoreboard. They got a question. Gives that track repair team of Killer Cupcake and Kaleidoscope a chance to repair that track. A reminder that, once again, that after this game, we do have the after party over at Peanuts Pub. Keep the flat track fever party going. Thank you to all of our volunteers in all those various positions that they took. Thank you to all of our NSOs. Thank you to all of our skating officials. Thank you to all the people for coming out for this whole weekend, whether it's just the one day or the whole weekend that you came out. Thank you for coming. Thank you to Full Mobility Chiropractic for sponsoring that jam line. WFTDI for sponsoring that penalty box that Rip is currently in. Roller Derby, what is it? Roller Derby Level Up. I've been singing it all weekend, and for some reason it just cleared my mind. Roller Derby Level Up for sponsoring the scoreboard. And I'm pretty sure that all of the vendors are now closed. The only one that's there is Nerd. But right now, Projectile is skating, so I'm pretty sure you can't buy anything from them. And we're about to get ready again here. Everything got sorted out. D-Ray going to be jamming against Wolfblade Jr. And that is a high block there on D-Ray. Wolfie cycled back, so Wolfie still has an opportunity to score lead jam status. Side dish gets called on a forearm. While that was happening, Wolfblade has a chance to sneak through that pack and secure lead jam status. And Wolfie gets called for a cut. D-Ray's penalty had ended before that, so they will be sitting the full 30. Well, luckily, they will clear the box before the end of this jam because we are skating the full 2 minutes. D-Ray with a little stumble there after they got through, but Show Me Your Hits tried to get in there. Could not slow D-Ray down enough. Wolfie dancing on that line, staying in. Excellent toe work. Coming in behind. Both jammers get through and score 4 points. And that is the end of that jam. And that is halftime. And we will see everyone back in 15 minutes. Welcome back to the second half. Toronto down by 27 or 37 points. This is quite still literally anyone's game, as the game earlier today, Toronto was down by 15 at the half and actually won by 100 points. So D-Ray put up a 28. Had a 28-0 jam. That was pretty much all she wrote. Projectile whipping around the outside. Calgary going to have some workout cut out, or sorry, Dogs going to have some work cut out for him to stay in this. Projectile going to skate over to the medic. Took a shot on that that shoulder. I do believe they have had problems with that shoulder before. This will be Wolfblade Jr. now going up against Stevie Stitches. Almost said Stevie Whips. Stevie Whips is a junior out of Rocky View. He used to play for Calgary. And actually Betty Davis' younger sister. Both jammers are hitting the respective packs. Biggest difference is Wolfblade. Bosch is called on a stop block. Wolfblade able to get through. And Dev gets called on a high block. And now Stevie Stitches going to the box. The most amazing part is with the number of penalties that have been called this game, Bradass has taken 0 so far. And Show Me Your Hits has only taken 1. That being said, the first game between the Dogs and Toronto, Bradass took like 5 penalties in a 3 jam span, so. Dogs are able to score 4-2 for Toronto. Brings that total score to 78 to 128. Put all that stuff together. If you want, you can run up to the car, that and all that. Rice ball knocked out by D-Ray. A couple fellow Team Canada coaches. Sorry, do I have which? What do you want to see, the penalties? If you want to see the penalties, you click on this. And then you click on this. And then you're like, why does Bradass have 0? You're like, I don't know, that's weird. Oh, damn, wrong button there. Ooh. There you go. Roster display. Davis being held up by D-Ray, but D-Ray does take a penalty. Oh, and Davis is going to go off for a forearm penalty. Stevie was cycled back there by Show Me Your Hits side dish. Who else is there? Decides to just call that jam off. And then April, they'll even tell you, like if you know your letters, it tells you what all the what they all 4 there. So, yeah, so Davis just took it for him. So Davis is at 4 now. So that's 5. So yeah, that's the jam. That's the half, and that's the jam number. That was that jam that they. Yeah, then you just So and then it'll be orange. It'll be orange at 6, and then red at 7. Lugness Monster trying to push their way through. Oh, is knocked out. But Dev is going to take a forearm call. Gets knocked out of bounds and just stay out of bounds. And Davis, bouncing act to stay in, but then runs around and runs into Sleep. The Toronto Sleep. Or Spencer Sleep. Davis cycled back by Bosch. Luke comes back in, so does Dev. Luke runs into Dev in the Dogs tripod. Drillmore takes the star. That jam gets called before Drillmore has a chance to score any points. Nat going up against Ladybeard now. Ladybeard opting for that rolling start. The old where's the jammer start? 35 points still separating these teams. Still a lot closer than that score makes it look like. Ladybeard. I don't know if Ladybeard went out on purpose just to show us that twirl with that skirt. Nat runs into that wall of Sleep. Toronto did score 3 more points on that jam. Slowly whittling away that lead. Bradass comes around, gets. There's Brad's first penalty of the game. Body's falling around. D-Ray secures lead jam status and is on a power jam. Pip is going off now. That's Pip 6th. And D-Ray still good. Has scored 4 points. Brad's still trying to get that initial pass. Taz is headed to the box. And joining Taz will be Bosch. D-Ray slowly skates back and calls that jam off before Bradass has a chance to score any points. And just like that, it's 26 points. There we go. Stevie Stitches jamming now against Wolfblade Jr. Stevie has lead jam. Down, calls it. Wolfie was able to jump over that apex and score 4, stealing 2 points away from Toronto. Changing that lead back to 28 points. Bradass now back out, going up against Luke Ness Monster. And Bradass is through quick. Bradass comes in. Bosch tries to cut him off. Bradass catches all of Bosch. And Bosch cycles Brad back. And Brad takes a forearm. Brad was your lead jammer, so we are skating the full 2. Luke comes through. Because Drug Drillmore got knocked out, Luke did not have to pass him, so that means they can only score 3 points. Because when they passed Doug, they were out of bounds. Luke knocked to the ground. Bradass comes back through. Runs into the Dictator and then Sleep. Sleep getting those hands up, making sure they're not blocking anything. And Bradass takes a cut. Looks like I spoke too soon about that lack of penalties for Bradass. Bradass will be starting this jam in the box. in 2 jams. Might have been. Nat is hit hard. I'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, because last time I did it froze like 5 minutes after I unpaused it, so.
The laptops were struggling. That machine's a lot better.
Oh, okay. So Nat will be sitting the next 3 minimum. It means there's going to be a lot of work here for D-Ray and Stevie Stitches in the next little bit, as they are the only 2 jammers for Toronto that are not out of commission for a bit. D-Ray and Dev hoping to stay in, does not, and takes a cut. Bosch coming through, trying to make some space for D-Ray. Brad Ast hitting the wall of Sleep, Starscream. That was be Sleep, Starscream, and the Dictator. Starscream held on just a little too long and takes a multiplayer. Bradis is able to get through. Super important, as we are looking at now only 21 points separating these 2 teams. All points are important now. Bradis takes the cover off, so was not able to score any points on that jam. That pass, sorry. Bradis opting to play some defense. Holding D-Ray back. D-Ray is able to get through. Scoring 4 more. And just like that, it is only a 13-point lead for the Dogs. Bradis able to get through and put up 4. D-Ray, oh! Excellent work there by Bosch to help knocking Rip out, so D-Ray didn't have to cycle back. D-Ray is able to pick up 3 points because the point on Rip did not count. So now only 14 points separate these 2 teams. Strap in, 15 minutes left. So you guys gonna start playing roller derby? Once you're 6, you can. If you're 6 years old, you can play with Calgary Roller Derby every Wednesday or every Thursday. Wolfie chasing down Stevie. Stevie gets through. How many points did they score? Oh, that's going to be a high block. Wolfie gets called for a high block. And the Dogs are going to call for an official review. April. So Dev's at 5. Davis and...
No, Dev's at 6.
Dev's at 6.
At 5.
Davis and Doug are at 5. And Brad's at 3. He took 3 in like 2 jams.
He's fine.
Sorry, cut. So the Dogs are looking for a cut on the blue jammer in that last jam. If they do get it, that will actually pretty much just wipe out Wolfblade's penalty, because Wolfblade is in the penalty box right now. No, but if it happened, Wolfley would, because Wolfley pretty much just sat in the box. Neither of the jammer would have to serve a full 30 seconds. Looks like the rest have made their decision. So Graphic will explain why the call was made the way it was and whether or not they will get to retain. Yeah. So the Dogs were looking for a cut on the blue jammer, but as the blue jammer got knocked out, they were calling the jam. So they were basically the play was dead, and that does not count as a cut. And that is Taz going, and then that is Bosch also going for obstruction. That one's missing right now. Wolfie needs to get through this pack, as it's only 7 points now separating these two teams. Lucas Monster gets through. Luke's dances through, puts Toronto into the lead, 142 to 141. 13 minutes left. And if you missed it and recall, at half, Toronto were down by 37 points. They are now up by 2. Up by 1, sorry. I need to get my act together. Ooh. You can tell it's day 3. Oh. A rice ball going to the box as well to join side dish. Davis, Hadley jam status, calls it from the ground. So now Stevie Stitches up against Ladybeard. Doug Drillmore there working. Taz joining up. That is Doug Drillmore now going. Telling Ladybeard to go on to defense as there are 3 blockers in the box. Now it's Taz and side dish. Rice Balls joined the party. Ladybeard has Billy the Kid and Sleep to get past. Can't quite get past Sleep and is cycled back. Almost a minute into this jam, and lead jam has not been established. And Steve is almost through. Ladybeard almost knocked out, but was able to stay in. And Ladybeard secures lead jam. Sleep knocks out Doug Drillmore. Oh, that's a high block on Stevie. Ladybeard calls off the jam. They are getting up. They are okay. Okay. They're going to skate. Looks like they're skating to the bench. Not able to score 4 points and put the Dogs in the lead, 145-142. Call it with a power jam. Wolfie starting this jam on a power jam. So D-Ray taking the pivot position. Show me your hits, and there everyone making some space for Wolfie. And there's a directional on Sleep, Toronto Sleep. Wolfie stood up by D-Ray, but able to stay in bounds and score 4. Some fancy move there by Wolfblade as he grabs the back of Basta Crash to kind of whip around. And Wolfie opening up this lead for the Dogs. Wanting to put as much breathing space behind them as possible. That was pretty close to a low block there on Sleep. Wolfie trying to push through, but pushed out by Sleep. There'll be a back block there on Stevie. Wolfie gets through. Puts up 16 and calls that jam off before D-Ray has a chance to score. Puts the Dogs back up by 19 now. Sorry, 17. Math is hard. Oh, Toronto's looking for an official review. Oh, no, just a timeout. Just a timeout. I thought I saw an O symbol. I thought I saw this. I saw this. I don't know if you want to do that. Ooh. Are you bench coaching or are you just kind of hanging out?
Bays,
Huh?
unofficially because they got mad at me for being who?
What are you looking for? Raz. Tree. This jam starting. We got Brad Asks and D-Ray. Bradass gets through fast. Gets that lead jam.
That's dangerous. 2 blockers.
Bradass, able to keep that right skate in. Scores 4. Only two blockers out there for Toronto. Yeah, and if it works so well the first time, might as well do it again. Open this lead up. It's still a little early. Oh, Brad had no pass. D-Ray is actually lead jammer. That's smart by D-Ray. Bradass gets another 4, but so does D-Ray. Sleep catches Bradass.
Yeah, they're kind of resembling ours.
Jammer on 5, 2 blockers on 6.
This will now be Davis jamming. D-Ray starting this one in the box. Davis dances around Nat. Looks for a loop on the inside, cannot find it. Runs into Bosch. And is able to squeak through there. Chased down by Bosch. Bosch is going to go. Bosch goes for a high block. D-Ray pushing on that tripod. Excellent work there by Show Me Your Hits on the brace. Nat bracing on for Toronto. Solid work by both of them. Keeping those tripods solid. Davis able to get through, just has to get past Dictator and cannot. Cycle back so Billy the Kid now can get in there. Billy the Kid gives a bit chase. Rice ball cycles D-Ray back. Side dish comes in to help out. Davis sliding backwards and staying in. Is that a head block? D-Ray gets called for, oh, sorry, that side dish called for blocking with the head. And this side dish is fifth.
This screen's easier to look at than running over the other one.
Pretty much until you see colors, you're like, I don't need to go over there. Once you start seeing the yellow and orange, it's time to check out the penalties. We're on. Lukeness Monster. It's now a 44-point lead here for the Dogs. Knocked down by Dev. Cycled back. Davis. Oh no, Ladybeard's the black jammer. I just saw 87 and a tutu. Or a mini skirt, as I got corrected earlier. Sleep pushes Ladybeard out. Neither jammer has an established lead jam status yet. Hard fought 1 minute. And Dev is now going off. Ladybeard fighting on that tripod now. Got through, did not get lead jam status though. They were in the box. Luke sees the opening and takes it. Gets lead jam status. Nope. Unfortunately able to get any points. I had a scratch. I think I opened it. There we go. Toronto has called a timeout. Is your phone charged? What's your mother? Would she like to start? Would you like to go over there? What? Three directionals. I'm not sure what he is. No, H is head block. That ends the timeout. 48 points separating these teams. That's the end of the timeout. Enough time for one, maybe two jams. Thank you again to all of our skating officials, all of our non-skating officials for volunteering their time, all of our volunteers for manning the door, helping set up, helping take down. Thank you for Full Mobility Chiropractic for sponsoring that jam line. Thank you to WFTDI for sponsoring our penalty box. Thank you for Roller Derby Level Up for sponsoring the scoreboard. Thanks to our vendors for spending the weekend with us. Oh, wait, what is? No, H is, but then what's H? Oh, A is. Yeah, so they were three directional. Two head, hot, two high, hot, and forearm. 44 points separating these teams. I've never seen a 44-point jam, so this score is a lot closer than it looks. Yeah, you have to do a ton of laps in a minute and a half. D-Ray, a little bit of confusion there at the start. Coming around fast. Doug Drillmore watching the line, making sure not to give D-Ray that apex jump. Side dish and Drillmore holding him back. D-Ray dances on that inside line and keeps through on bounds. Secures lead jam and scores 4 points. Wolfblade runs into Doug Drillmore. So both have to go behind the pack. We're now on jam time. D-Ray looking to close this score. D-Ray with a little how you doing, hop over the apex. Wolfie chasing down D-Ray. Both jammers hit the pack at the same time. Wolfie with it all. Bounce spin. Puts the dogs over 200. Your unofficial final score is 200 for the Reservoir Dogs, 171 for Toronto. Time for some high fives.